All right, Rob and Slim Show. We are back, and we have director Brennan Ford Green on the air with us. What's going on, Brennan? This is the second time you're on our show. Once again, promoting.
Thank you for having me. I have this crazy echo going on right now on my phone.
Let me see. I'm not sure. We've been having issues, so I don't know.
Do you mind if I call you back in like 10 seconds?
All right, yeah, that's fine, man.
All right, cool.
All right, dude. Robert Slim Show.
Hello, this is Brandon.
Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
Good. Still got that echo, but I'll
Still
just try to concentrate way harder.
Okay.
All right, we're sorry about
Sorry
that.
about
It's
that.
probably something on our end.
That's all right.
What
How you guys doing?
Good, how you doing, man?
Good. Thanksgiving was good.
Nice.
Just plugging away with the movie. That's me.
Cool.
Have
cool.
you gotten any farther with the funding?
Yeah, we actually had a nice little jump over the last couple days. So we're a lot closer to our goal.
Cool.
Let's see, we end on Sunday night. So
Wow.
So we're hoping to rally and get that last bit in so we can finish shooting.
Nice.
And that's planned right now for mid-January. Yeah.
Now, the movie is Good Grief, and it's about a funeral, right? And the friends reunite for it?
That is correct. It's about 8 friends who go back to their hometown in the Midwest to attend the funeral of their good friend who was a comic artist, and they end up dealing with all their old problems that they kind of swept under the rug years ago.
Yeah. That's cool. What
Now, you were inspired by Charlie Brown, right?
He was inspired by a lot of things, but yeah, Charlie Brown is probably the biggest inspiration for it. Charles Schultz's Peanuts characters. I used to read the Peanuts when I was a kid, and yeah, there's about 50 years worth of Peanuts comic strips, and I've read about 18.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of comics.
Do you have any ones that really stick out in your memory?
Say that again?
Do you have any specific ones that stick out in your memory?
Yeah. One of my favorite things is when I don't know, Charlie Brown said something to Lucy, and Lucy said to him, out of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you are the Charlie Browniest. And I don't know, I always
Yeah. I know that one.
hilarious. And they end up putting in one of the cartoons as well.
Yeah. My kids were just up for Thanksgiving, and what was it, the Thanksgiving special? They love it, man. I don't get it. Even as a kid, I loved it, but now I watch it. I'm like, it's so depressing.
The Christmas one was good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you read the Peanuts comics, they're pretty dark. They're not, they're not happy and fun-loving like everyone thinks they are.
Yeah.
But they just have because it's a cartoon. It's not like cartoons nowadays. If the Peanuts were made now, if they were new now, it would have a much different connotation.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown's definitely he's definitely like a manic depressed kid.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah. For sure.
Then he just keeps on listening to Linus, and Linus ends up and by no fault of his own, but Linus always ends up dicking him over somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. They're great.
Yeah.
there's so many. I mean, there's still years and years of comic strips that I still need to read. I plan on getting through all of them. It's just, I got burnt out after a while. I was like, all right, I need to put these down for a little bit.
So now, how do you get a hold of them? Do you just have they just keep getting mailed to your house?
They have these collected books that have. There's a set, and it comes with 2 books, and each book has 2 years in them. So I think I have about 5 of those sets.
Oh, wow.
So I have about 10 full books.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen those. What kind of soundtrack do you have in the movie?
We're going for a jazz soundtrack. Like I don't know if you've heard of an artist called Brad Mehldau. I'm a big fan of his work, and I've been using his music as a template for the film right now. It's just basic upright bass, piano, and drums. And Brad Mehldau's great because he does a lot of cover songs too. Like he does a cover of "Baby Plays Around" by Elvis Costello. He does a cover of "Hey Jude" from Jimi Hendrix. He does one of he has a cover of "Paranoid Android" by Radiohead.
Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And now, how long have you been working on the movie for?
How long have I been working on the movie for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I got the idea back in 2002. It was originally a sketch. I was in a sketch comedy group, and I wrote this long 15-minute sketch, and everyone's like, "You're insane. There's no way we're going to do a 15-minute sketch. You're better off making it into a stage play." So I sat down with a partner, a writing partner, maybe 3 years later, because I'd never written anything before, and we tried to hash it out, and it just wasn't working out the way we wanted to. So we kind of scrapped the idea, and then 3 years after that, I just had this epiphany about how I was going to go about writing it, and I hired, actually asked friends of mine who are actors to workshop the script with me, and they were very, very helpful in getting me to write it. And we improvised a bunch of scenes, and after a few months, I started putting pen to paper, and then 9 months after that, I had a script, and for 4 years, I just kept doing workshops and rewrites, and I probably went through about, 15 or 20 rewrites of that script.
Wow.
Yeah, over 4 years.
With the
and
sketch
then
comedy. Sorry.
Last November, I got approached by a producer to actually make the film, and then in June we started shooting it. We shot for 3 weeks, and we did a rough cut over the summer, and now we're where we're at now.
That's cool. With the sketch comedy group, did you tour a lot?
No, it was just a couple of actors in Los Angeles wanting to do something, so we got together in this horrible theater. This place that's run, I'm not going to say his name, but it's run by this
Satan.
Sure, this freaking moron of a guy that it was free space, so we're like, screw it. But yeah, I mean, this guy tried to convince us that he was the ghost writer on Star Wars Episode 2, and we're like, whatever, dude, just give us a free space.
Yeah, because I did some improv in high school, and I didn't know if it was like that or.
Yeah, I was really scared of improv in high school because we had some really good improvisers when I went to high school, and I just wanted nothing to do with it. I'm like, if it ain't scripted, I can't touch it. And then it wasn't later on after I got out of college and came out to LA and started doing theater out here, that I was like, maybe I should give this a shot. So I went to Second City for about a year, and that changed my view of everything. So
that's cool. You've done a lot of acting, right?
I have. I've been acting for a minute. Yeah, I started when I was 6 years old. My father was my first acting teacher. He was a director and an acting coach. I just did it for fun, and I started taking it seriously when I was about 14 in high school. And then, I fought it for so long. I'm like, actors starve. I don't want to do that. But then, someone convinced me to audition for these conservatories, and I got into both of them. So then I picked one, and I'm like, all right, I guess that's what I'm going to do. So that was that.
So I was curious, you said that you spent like 4 years writing the script and rewrote it like 15 times. So where it's at now, are you completely happy with it, or are there still things where you look back at it and you're like, I kind of wish I changed that?
No, I would say I'm pretty happy with it.
That's good.
I mean, after a while, it got to the point where I was just tinkering like words here and there. I was like, I gotta leave this alone and let it be what it is. Or, I could probably be writing that thing for another 10 years if I really wanted to. But sometimes you just gotta let the bird fly.
Yeah.
So.
Let the shit hit the fan.
For sure. Yeah. The cool thing is, we ended up getting a script doctor for the film, and he was a huge help in helping me shape the structure of the film and take it all. I had a character in there since the beginning, and from day one, he was like, "This character needs to go. He's not helping whatsoever. That's the first thing we need to do." And I'm like, "Okay." And it just opened up all this new stuff, just getting rid of one person.
Wow.
So
I can't believe there's actually a job title out there called script doctor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there are people that they know certain formulas of a script, and they're there basically to play devil's advocate and fight you on everything tooth and nail. But ultimately, we worked really well together. So ultimately, he was awesome.
Cool.
That's cool.
He's actually, his name is Aviv, hope I'm getting his name right, Aviv Rubenstein, and he also has a film coming out. It's called The Anchorite. It's about a band that travels from one side of the country to the other, and they break up and get back together, and it's very indie, and a lot of improvisation, and it's really, really cool. And the thing about it is he's actually the lead singer in this actual band called The Anchorite, which is in Los Angeles. So if anyone listening gets a chance to see The Anchorite, check them out. They're really good.
Do you think he would do an interview with us?
Probably, yeah.
Cool. Well,
he's a good guy. He's funny too. So
Yeah.
Cool, man.
I think you guys would dig him.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I said you were in Hancock, right?
No, I wasn't in Hancock. I did voiceover work for Hancock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's a part where they're doing, people call into this radio station in Los Angeles. I think it's Power 106 is the Los Angeles station, and the DJ is Big Boy in the morning, and I was just basically riffing with questions that he would ask, or people would call in saying that they saw Hancock flying across the sky, and I just had to come up with a couple characters, and honestly, I don't even know if they used my voice in that movie, but I got paid and I got the credit for it, so
nice.
that's cool.
Yeah, man, that's all that matters.
So you got any other projects you're working on, or any plans for anything after Good Grief?
There's a new CSI show coming out called CSI Cyber, and I play a character on one of the episodes coming up. It's a detective. I got a scene with Patricia Arquette, and I got a scene with James Van Der Beek.
Cool.
Vanderbeek.
Yeah. Van Der Beek is the best, man.
Yeah. He seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, I was a big fan of him.
What was he in? Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, I think?
He wasn't that.
He was amazing.
Yeah, he was in that movie. You're right. I forgot about that. Him and Jason Biggs.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part.
That was awesome.
No, whoever his manager is or his agent was really smart in getting him that role in Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. They're like, look, Neil Patrick Harris brought his career back by playing a hybrid of himself. Maybe you should do the same. And it worked.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He's a really good actor. One of his best roles is in this movie called Rules of Attraction.
Oh, yeah.
Which, actually, I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but the guy that wrote American Psycho wrote Rules of Attraction.
Yeah.
American Psycho was great.
Patrick Bateman, who Christian Bale plays in American Psycho, James Vanderbeek is the younger brother of that character.
Oh wow, that's cool. I'm gonna have to watch that movie.
That movie
now.
was
Really?
amazing. Yeah.
I've never seen that
Wait,
movie.
so those movies are actually connected to each other? They're like...
They're only really connected by the Bateman brothers, but you don't really, unless you knew they had the same last name, there's really no connection. I don't think he ever talks about his brother. Or anything.
I used to have that on DVD, and my ex-wife destroyed it because the first scene is just so repugnant. She hated it. So it's
it's pretty gross. But the filmmaking, I mean, the cinematography in that film is unbelievable.
I
Yeah.
was like, Christian Bale he nailed that character.
in American
Oh, yeah.
Psycho. Yeah, that's amazing.
That was spine tingling. Like that
Yep.
was like,
Rules of Attraction is amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those films that not a lot of people know about or remember, but if you've seen it, it's really hard to get out of your head. That was my favorite film of that year.
Yeah. That movie's great.
I think it was 2002, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I think that's correct.
So what?
I have this weird talent for memorizing dates of movies.
What?
But I can tell. Say again?
Now go on. I'll ask when you're done.
No, I was being goofy. I was just saying that I can name any movie that's won Best Picture between 1967 and present.
Nice.
I was actually going to ask you.
Stupid trivia thing. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe one day it'll help me out.
Pay
Or
off.
something.
But no, what I was going to ask you is, for like movies that have came out this year, what do you think's like really good?
Whiplash.
I haven't even heard about that.
Oh man, you gotta see Whiplash. Whiplash and Love is Strange are probably the two best films I've seen this year so far.
Really? What is Whiplash?
Whiplash has Miles Teller in it and J.K. Simmons. Miles Teller is actually getting ready to play Mr. Fantastic in the new Fantastic Four movie, and
Nice.
J.K. Simmons played J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man movie.
Okay, right.
It's about this kid who is he's a jazz drummer and he wants to be the best, and so he goes to this music conservatory, and J.K. Simmons' role is, the professor, and he's got his own jazz band, and he basically mentally tortures this kid for an entire year until the shit hits the fan, and it's a drama, but it plays like a thriller. I was on the edge of my seat the entire movie.
Wow.
I'll have to check that out now. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nominated for some Independent Spirit Awards. I know that.
Nice.
And Love is Strange is about this older gay couple in New York, and one of them loses their job, and they can't afford their rent, so they're forced to be separated for an extended period of time. And it's kind of a heartfelt film. It's got Alfred Molina and what's the John, guy from Third Rock from the Sun. What's his name?
Oh, Lovitz? No.
No,
No, not John Lovitz.
that's John Lithgow.
John
Lithgow. Yeah.
John Lithgow.
He's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, great film.
Nice.
Do you watch documentaries at all?
I don't see as many as I should. I have this thing about watching, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but I just personally have a thing about watching documentaries in the theater. I'd rather watch documentaries at home.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. It's the same thing with foreign films. Like, I like watching foreign films and documentaries at home. So I watch them on Netflix a lot, or if there's a video store down the street from my apartment, I'll rent them at the video store sometimes. But I don't really go out and see them in the theater.
Yeah.
But you do. You
It's
go
a
out.
weird thing I have.
You go out to the theater a lot, though. Like you see like everything, or
I see as much as I possibly can. Like I saw the new Chris Rock movie last night, Top 5.
oh well.
I saw Mockingjay Part 1 this afternoon.
Yeah.
I saw Exodus. I saw this new Jennifer Aniston movie called Cake. I saw Wild, the new Reese Witherspoon movie. So
you don't miss anything. You see like every single movie that
How
comes
was-
out. That's crazy.
How was Exodus?
I try to see as much as possible. It's amazing how in the cutting of the film, we spent 2 months, my editor and I, cutting together the film, and then I just walked away from it for about a good 3 weeks to a month, and then we went back to cut more stuff out, and it was amazing how much better the film was just based on me watching other films and learning what the mistakes and the successes of other films were. So, yeah, I'm a big student when it comes to watching films.
Cool, man.
It's cool.
Oh, last time we talked, you mentioned that you were a huge Kevin Smith fan, and I don't know if we asked you or
Yeah,
not.
big Kevin Smith fan.
Have you ever met Kevin Smith?
I've met him twice. One time when I first moved to LA, he was doing a signing, and I got him to sign my Dogma DVD.
Nice. I love that movie.
And I told him, I was like, yeah, I think you're one of the best screenwriters in Hollywood. He's like, oh, it's real sweet, man, thanks. And he was, it was really nice.
Yeah.
And the second time I met him was at Comic-Con. He was showing footage from Red State before Red State came out, and I went up there, and I just riffed with him and told him that I loved the scene, and I just finished reading this book about him, and he said, if you ever see me, and I'm looking, fatter than usual, tell me to cut out the eating. And that's funny. I said something to him about it, and he goes, well, you probably can't tell, but I've lost about 60 pounds, but you can't tell because I'm wearing this huge, hockey jersey.
Amazing.
Where's the hockey
He's like,
jersey?
but thanks for looking out, man. He's like, I really appreciate it. Yeah, don't stop bugging me about that shit. I'm like, all right.
That's cool.
But yeah, he was great.
Yeah, I heard he's a guy that will do like a show, like just talking, and like just keep going till they kick him out.
Oh, he will talk and talk and talk. Like I went to Comic-Con this year as well, and I went to go plug Good Grief because he's in Hall H, and if you know anything about Comic-Con, Hall H has got like 60,000 people or something crazy like that, and then it ends up going on YouTube. So the last time I had talked to him, I had just finished a short film version of Good Grief, and I was like, okay, I made these buttons, and I'm going to hand him this button. And I just had it in my mind to hand him this button, and I forgot to plug the frickin' Facebook page to everybody. I'm like, I just blew 60,000 possible new fans just to hand this man a button. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. This year I'm gonna be successful. So I went up to the line, and everyone's like, you can't be up in line just yet. We're not starting the line. So, but I know you got to be closer in line because Kevin will just talk, and you won't have an opportunity. Well, long story short, I ended up turning my head for 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden the line started, and I ran up, and I ended up 10th in line, and he only got through 9 people.
Oh my God!
I was like, son of a bitch.
Oh shit!
That sucks.
But everything, they say everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And I guess the reason was because I turned my head, but whatever.
Wow.
Alright. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, Brandon. Well, thanks for talking to us again, man. This is great.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
yeah,
you.
man. Why don't you get all your plugs out, and then we'll let you go.
Yeah, who's ever listening, go to Indiegogo.com and type in Good Grief, and please, pledge whatever you can. I know it's the holidays. I know times are tough, but we're really close to our goal, and if we make it by Sunday, we'll be able to get those last shots out, get ready to, we can finish our edit, we can start our color correction, so any dollar amount will help. We got comic books, if you're a comic book fan, we got some great comic book perks on there and other things. Also, if you're on Facebook, we're at Good Grief Film fan page. I know it's too long, I gotta shorten it, but Good Grief Film fan page on Facebook, and we're on Good Grief Film on Twitter.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Take care, man.
All right. Thanks again, guys.
Yep,
no problem. Thank you, brother.
Bye.
Bye. Cool.
It's funny how much better that was without Dylan. Like, we got so much more out of him that time.
Yeah.
Well,
He was laughing on the email when I told him about.
yeah.
What, Dylan?
Yeah.
Well, even if you listen to both interviews like back to back, you'll see the difference because there was it was just
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable. It was not anything like the conversation we just had with him.
No.
So, all right, guys. We'll see you next week. Check us out on Facebook, Rob and Slim Show. We're on Twitter, Rob and Slim Show. All that good stuff. Google us, you'll find us. And yeah, full shows on SoundCloud, clips up on YouTube, and that's it.
Fishmas.
Fishmas. Later.
See ya.